And when we talk about snow here in the GTA, well, the potential to see a little bit of winter as we head into this weekend. Yeah, it certainly is there. Thanks for tuning into the morning show just after 5:30 a.m. I'm Rachel Schoutsen. As we look at our morning headlines here, the east wind, it's going to cool us down today. Wintry weekend on the way, and also rush hour begins in the GTA. We are seeing light misty rain in some places. I'll show you this camera right now, the 401 at McCowan, and you can see just building up on the screen there. Yeah, a little bit of mist, so some wet road conditions for some. Now let's take a look at the current temperatures here. 5:35 a.m. Toronto at 2 degrees. It's 5 down in Windsor. The easterly wind today, yeah, as this travels over Lake Ontario, it brings us some cooler temperatures. And you can see there's very spotty precipitation moving through here. We're just seeing sort of that light mist for some. Now as we look ahead at today, cloud cover will increase as this cold front approaches the GTA, and this here for us could mean rain through the overnight. Now for more on your weather, here's a look at your local news in a minute there with Nicole Karkic, and now time to look at your forecast for the GTA. A little bit cooler today, and that's because we're seeing an easterly wind over Lake Ontario. So that's going to bring our temperatures down, but still another above seasonal December day. 5:45 a.m. and it's 2 degrees for the city of Toronto. It's 0 in Barrie. And right now we're seeing just a little bit of light mist in through southern Ontario. I'll show you this traffic camera here. Well, now, as we look ahead into this afternoon, that easterly wind keeps our temperatures a little cooler, especially when you compare it to yesterday. Yeah, yesterday we were almost 10 degrees in the GTA here. This afternoon down to 5. So some breezy conditions. We could see some wind gusts close to 30 kilometers an hour coming out of the east here, and cloud cover today. Yeah, we're not going to see too much sunshine. That's because this low is approaching here, and that cold front is going to swing through overnight tonight, and that could be bringing us about 1 to 3 millimeters of rain through the GTA. So we're not talking about a whole lot of rain with this, but it's likely to stick with us just through the overnight hours, and potentially you could see it in through Thursday morning as well. So just watching out for that Thursday morning drive. But this evening here, you can see temperatures still staying quite the same, around 5 degrees, and then another bump up as we look ahead into Thursday. Thursday morning, look, already at 8, those winds switching, and they'll be heading out of the southwest. Now for more on your weather, here's your local. Well, it is December the 16th, and we're finally talking a little bit about winter here in the GTA. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Long Ranger, and a very good morning to you. I'm Rachel Schoutsen. I want to jump into Friday and Saturday because a cooler air mass, it certainly is coming into play, and the potential for lake effect squalls. Yeah, a little bit of snow in the GTA. The potential is certainly there. Where we are going to see greater chances of seeing this is especially up into ski country, cottage country, even along the Erie shores into Buffalo as well. So what are we seeing here? Well, into Friday, we'll see those west-southwest winds, and that's really going to target places like cottage country, Parry Sound. We could be seeing quite a bit of snow with this. We know how snow squalls work. But the potential here for Saturday is for these winds to just slightly shift to more of a westerly wind, and this is where we could see some snow. Friday evening for the drive home. Yeah, the potential for snow squalls in Toronto is there. Not likely that we'll see accumulating snow, but enough to, let's say, slicken up the roads. And look at this as well. Hey, wind chill comes back into play. Yeah, Toronto on Friday, 1 is the daytime high, feeling like -5. This is bringing us back to seasonal. Daytime high on Saturday is -1. Newmarket will feel like -8. Toronto feeling like -9. So you have to ask here, well, the chances of seeing a white Christmas. Temperatures are going to slightly bump back up by the time we look into next week. Yeah, Kevin, we have an easterly wind today, so that's actually going to help cool us down a little in the GTA. And just like you were seeing behind Kevin there, some very light flurries. We're seeing almost some light mist through the GTA. I'll show you that in a second here. But first, our morning headlines. The east wind cools our temperatures. A wintry weekend ahead. Yeah, we're talking about snow squalls here. And also, rush hour begins in the GTA. I want to show you this traffic camera just so you can sort of see the mist morning. So not to be caught off guard, we could see some slick conditions. All right, 6:04 a.m. It's 2 degrees for the city of Toronto. We're only warming up to about 5 today, so we definitely are seeing some cooler conditions, and that's all because of that lake breeze. Now, in terms of the precipitation, again, very light, spotty stuff. When we see that mist, it really is contained more east of the GTA right now, so places like Scarborough out to Pickering and Ajax. Now, as I take you here and show you our movie, high pressure is moving out, and this low is starting to come in, and what we will see today is sort of an increase of cloud cover throughout the day. Now, this here is the cold front. That is going to going to pass our region overnight tonight, and this is where we could get into some light rain showers. When we talk about this rain, again, about 1 to 3 millimeters of it. We're not talking about big amounts of rain with this, and it mainly will be a story through the overnight for us. Now, our next big story really is what's coming this weekend. Yeah, the cooler air is going to start to filter through. These are our upper level temperatures, and you can see colder air aloft, and at the surface, we're going to start to feel the wind chill as well. So this here is going to help the development of seeing some lake enhanced snow squalls. So we have these winds here out of the west Friday and in through Saturday, and the potential for us to see a few flurries in the GTA. That certainly is going to be here. Not likely that we'll see accumulating snow, but enough to, let's say, maybe get us ready for Christmas. Now for more on your forecast, here's your local. Well, a very good morning to you. It's December the 16th, and we're talking a little bit about winter here on the Weather Network. Yeah, it certainly is going to feel like that into the weekend. The details are ahead, but right now, 6:14 a.m., and it's 2 degrees for the city of Toronto. Today, we're seeing an easterly wind over the lake, and that's helping to bring our temperatures down. We're still above seasonal here at 5 degrees, but a little bit cooler than what we have been experiencing. Now, I want to take you to our Beat the Traffic system quickly here, and I want to show you. When we talk about winter, well, we certainly haven't been seeing it here in through southern Ontario, but out in Atlantic Canada, well, there has been a lot of winter to share there. Look at this picture here from Lincoln, New Brunswick. Tanya sends us in this one. This was taken yesterday. The snowbanks starting to form out through this region. I'll also take you into Mount Pearl as well, this here in Newfoundland, and you can see the scene of Christmas, a light dusting of snow on the ground, and here in Mount Pearl today, well, it's about -1 this morning, and we'll also see about 1 centimeter of snow. So snow still in the forecast for this region. All right, let me show you Canada right across the country this afternoon. 5 degrees for Toronto. We certainly are one of the warmer places here. As we look off to Halifax at 3, snow continues in through Newfoundland, and it's only 4. I had no idea. Cool stuff, Sophia. Thanks for that. And thank you for being here with us this morning. I want to start off by showing you this. For people who are not excited about shoveling the driveway and officially using the winter tires, hey, you might like this. Christmas week, the pattern, mild conditions continue in through southern Ontario. The official definition of a white Christmas is 2 centimeters of snow on the ground on December 25th. And the last time we saw that was back in 2013 when we had 3 centimeters of snow on the ground. This year, not likely to be seeing a white Christmas. No, we are going to see some cooler air come into play. This is a look at the upper temperatures here. So yeah, we're seeing cool air aloft, that's for sure. And that's going to help see some lake enhanced snow. Yeah, we'll talk about this in a second. But in behind that, that cool air leaves and another mild pattern returns. Yeah. As we look ahead to Friday and Saturday, westerly winds, this is going to be producing some snow. That lake effect machine firing back up again. So yeah, we could be seeing some flurries in through Friday evening and Saturday in through southern Ontario. Certainly is going to be cold enough to snow here, especially with that wind chill feeling like -2. Saturday feels like -7 for the city of Toronto. But then as we fast forward into next week, well, temperatures, they're bumping right back up. Look at this, into Wednesday here, only a very few days to Christmas at this point. Barrie at 11, Toronto at 10. So temperatures are bumping up into next week. I don't think Kevin can hear us out there this morning. All right, we'll check back in with him again when we get that technical issue set up. But hey, let's take a look at our morning headlines right now. A very good morning to you. It is December the 16th, and the closer we get to Christmas, well, the more we can tell you that I think a green Christmas is in the forecast. All right, let me take you now onto our Beat the Traffic system here. There's a few issues that I want to talk about on the roads. Oh, actually, our morning headlines are working now. Looks like we have more tech issues than just one. Here we go. East winds, they're going to cool down our temperatures today. We're only seeing a daytime high of about 5 degrees. Also, a wintry weekend ahead. Snow squalls in the forecast, and also rush hour begins in the GTA, and unfortunately we are seeing quite a few issues out on the roads, especially the closure of Highway 89. I'll get to that in a second, but first, current conditions here at 6:35 a.m. It's 2 degrees in the city of Toronto, and we're sort of seeing a mist throughout the GTA, and that is creating some slippery road conditions, so keeping an eye on this one here especially. The radar, see this cold front? That is moving in through southern Ontario overnight tonight, and that's our next chance of getting into some showers. For now, that mist this morning, cool in some places, close to the 0 degree mark, so watching out for some icy conditions. Our forecast into the afternoon, Toronto at 5 degrees. Now, Highway 89 at 9th Line is closed, and we'll have details just ahead. And a Colorado low is approaching our region. You can actually just see the cold front right there, just headed over Lake Michigan. And this is going to be headed into our region overnight tonight, and that's going to be bringing us some rain. Now, we are seeing some misty conditions this morning. Temperatures are cold. Barrie sitting at the freezing mark. Toronto at 2, and I think it's sending a few drivers for a loop this morning. Yeah, we have quite a few issues out on the roads, and I'll talk about that in a second. But first, let's get into your forecast here. Overcast conditions today. That's going to be the main story for us, and also the easterly wind. When we see this easterly wind, oftentimes it cools us down, and that's exactly what's going to be happening today. We're still above seasonal. We're just not as warm as we have been seeing it, let's say. Now, this is the Colorado low. This is really messy up into Winnipeg, Kenora, Thunder Bay, some mixing and some heavy snowfall totals. For us here, as the cold front passes, perfect timing just through the overnight. So while you're sleeping, we could see about 1 to 3 millimeters of rain, but that's pretty much it. So it's not going to be a big story for us here. In behind it, the cooler air and also the potential for lake effect snow. Yeah, we'll talk about this one. Rain through the overnight. That's really our next story as we look at our evening temperatures, about 5 degrees. So similar temperatures to what we saw today, sort of just staying steady throughout the day. And then Thursday morning, temperatures rise again. Winds switch to the southwest. And look here, 8 degrees for the city of Toronto. Thursday morning, we could see a few lingering showers. So maybe pack an umbrella, similar to what you're seeing today. You do need an umbrella this morning as well. Thursday afternoon, we're back up to 8, the last day of the mild conditions, because this is when the cold air starts to filter through. Friday and Saturday, lake effect snow. That's the setup. All right, let me take you out onto the roads now. Have a look at this scene here. Well, a Christmas present is coming this weekend for all of you counting down the days to winter. When are we going to look like winter here in the GTA? Well, this weekend, colder air coming into play and also the setup of some snow. Yeah, with the westerly winds here, lake effect squalls are in the forecast. Now, we are going to see a bump up in temperatures into next week. So it's not like these squalls are going to give us a white Christmas, but they're going to give us something to talk about here, that's for sure. We're seeing winds on Friday coming out of the west-southwest, and that's going to target areas like ski country, cottage country, even down to Buffalo as well. We remember Buffalo and the snow squalls last year. So finally getting into some of that snow here. And as we look at temperatures, well, it certainly is going to be cold enough to snow. Yeah, look at this. Friday with the wind chill feels like -2. Barrie feeling like -4. So back to closer to seasonal here. And then Saturday, we're even colder. Toronto, a daytime high sitting right at that 0-degree mark. With the wind chill, it feels like -8 up in Newmarket. So when we talk about this snow, how much snow is in the forecast? Well, of course, it is tricky when we do see the setup of lake effect snow squalls, but places up into ski country, well, we could see cottage at your place. Well, we could see about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow here, and likely not to see accumulation in the GTA, but we could grab a couple flurries, making it look just a little bit like Christmas. Well, a very good morning to you, and thank you for making the Weather Network a part of your day. It's 7:14 a.m. I'm Rachel Schoutsen, and right now it's 2 degrees in the city of Toronto. What we're seeing is a light mist for many people out on the roads, and it is creating some issues. I want to let you know we've been tracking a closure. Highway 89 at 9th line still remains fully closed, east and westbound. 5 degrees this afternoon for the city of Toronto. Overcast skies, though, as the cold front approaches. And I also want to show you one more issue out on the roads. Now, where is winter? Yeah, that's the question that many of us here in southern Ontario have been asking, especially now as we count down the days to Christmas. Well, I can show you where winter certainly is. Storm watch was there as well yesterday. This is Lincoln, New Brunswick. Tanya sends us in this one. You can see the snowbanks starting to really show their stuff there. Out in the east, and also Mount Pearl, Newfoundland, beautifully decked out for Christmas. I'm sure your home is as well. And you can see the light dusting of snow on the ground here. Mount Pearl has another centimeter of snow in the forecast today, and it's -1 there this morning. So a cooler start to the morning, that's for sure. Today, our daytime high in Toronto at 5 degrees. And when we compare ourselves to the rest of the country, you can see we certainly are warm. It's -7 for the high in Regina with some snow. Well, a very good morning to you, and thanks so much for tuning into the Weather Network. I'm Rachel Schoutsen. It's Wednesday, it's December the 16th, and this is a look at our morning headlines. Yeah, easterly winds today, cooling down our temperatures, but still above seasonal. Also, a wintry weekend ahead. Yeah, it's going to sort of look like Christmas in some places. And also, rush hour begins in the GTA. We've been looking at a lot of problems this morning out on the 401, Highway 89, and those details are coming up. But first here, 7:34 a.m. It's 2 degrees from the city of Toronto, and we're seeing sort of a light mist for many drivers, and it's sending a few people for a loop this morning. Yeah, not the best conditions out there. See this here? This is the cold front, and this is going to be swinging through our region tonight and through the overnight, and that's when we are going to get into some showers. But for now, it's just sort of that misty kind of sky, wet out on the roads, and also close to the 0-degree mark, so we could be seeing some slick conditions. Into this afternoon, we're up to 5. We should be at around 0 for this time of year. All right, let me take you out onto the roads right now. Well, it's Wednesday today, 7:44 a.m., December the 16th. Thank you for making the Weather Network a part of your day. I'm Rachel Schoutsen, and a little bit of mist out there this morning. So we have been seeing a few issues out on the roads, and we'll get into that in a second. But first, let's take a look at our current conditions here. It's 2 degrees right now in the city of Toronto. It's a little colder than what we've been used to over the past few days, and that's all because of the easterly wind. Yeah, as these winds travel across Lake Ontario here, it sends in some cooler air into our region. Not to worry, though, we're going to be back much above seasonal as we head into tomorrow. Tomorrow, daytime high of about 9 degrees. Yeah, this is the warmest December on record. And we are going to see more of a wintry mix come into play, especially as we look ahead into the weekend. But let's focus in on this first here. This is a Colorado low that's coming into our region, and that's why mainly today we're going to be seeing overcast skies. We're not going to have to shovel anything with this, though. No, the snow is well contained up to Kenora and Winnipeg. But as this cold front comes through, right through the overnight, so the timing is pretty good on this one. This is where we will see about 1 to 3 millimeters of rain. So not a whole lot of rain here, but it could stick around into the Thursday morning drive as well. So a heads up on this one with just some very light showers, especially east of the GTA and over to the capital as well. Now let me take you out onto the roads here because unfortunately we've been seeing quite a few issues this morning. December the 16th, and we're looking at an overcast sky today and the misty conditions. We've been seeing them out on the roads, and unfortunately quite a few issues out there. We're going to dive into that in a second, but let's go over our morning headlines. An east wind today, and that's going to be bringing us in some cooler temperatures. Also, wintry weekend, snow squalls. Have you missed those? Well, those are coming back into play. And also overnight rain. Yeah, the Colorado low moves through today, and through the overnight, the cold front will swing through, and this is going to be bringing us just some light precipitation. All right, let's look at this. Current temperatures here. It's 2 degrees in the city of Toronto. 2 seems a little cold, right? Compared to what we have been seeing. This is seasonal. This is pretty much where we should be for this time of year. And as we look at our radar right now, it's kind of doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's kind of just picking up a little bit of that mist that we're seeing in the atmosphere, and it's causing issues like this out on the 401 the overnight. Oh, there it is. All right, let me take you now and show you this Colorado low here. This system is bringing in quite a bit of snow in through northwestern Ontario, but for us, we won't have to shovel anything, no. This is the cold front. It's going to pass our region through the overnight, about 1 to 3 millimeters of rain. No snow in the forecast here, and we could see some rain linger even into Thursday morning as well, where we are going to see some winds setting up. And as these winds travel over the Great Lakes, relatively warm bodies of water, this is going to put some snow up into cottage country and even towards Barrie and Newmarket. The GTA, it is 8:14 a.m., a busy morning out on the roads, and also we're seeing the mist. Yeah, that misty kind of atmosphere continues across the GTA, and with temperatures close to 0, well, it's proving to be pretty slick out there. Let me show you some scenes right now of the Well, a very good morning to you. Thanks so much for making the Weather Network a part of your day today. I'm Rachel Schoutsen, and we'll start off here with our morning headlines. Yeah, this is what's going on at the Weather Network. We're talking about that east wind because it's really cooling down our temperatures today, but still above seasonal. Also, a wintry weekend. Yeah, it's not likely we'll see accumulating snow for us, but we'll tell you where we will see it. And also overnight rain. Yeah, as a Colorado low approaches, this is going to be bringing in some showers. You can actually see the cold front here just to the side of the screen. That's going to advance to our region as we look ahead to the overnight. So 3 degrees right now in the city of Toronto. Some misty conditions out there, and it's been creating some slick road conditions for sure, and also low visibility in a few areas as well. As we look at some of the mist, sort of looks like a bit of clutter on the radar here, but for the most part, it's sort of creating that shine out on the major routes. And I want to show you this issue here on the 401 now, on the eastbound 401. I want to mention we've been tracking the closure of Highway 89 this morning in Cookstown. That has now reopened, so all lanes, east and westbound, you're good to go. All right, this afternoon, 6 degrees for the city of Toronto. Bump that up by 1 degree here. Still above seasonal, not as warm as what we have seen. Cloud cover continues today, and as this low approaches, this is going to be bringing us in some rain overnight tonight. Yeah, do you feel a headache coming on? Well, that's because high pressure is leaving and an area of low pressure is heading in. And you can actually see here in our current conditions, see this line here? That's the cold front associated with the Colorado low. That's going to be bringing us some rain through the overnight tonight. Now, it's Wednesday today. It's December the 16th. I'm Rachel Schoutsen. You're watching the Weather Network, and current conditions right now, it's 8:44 a.m., 3 degrees for the city of Toronto. We are seeing some mist across the GTA, and it's providing some slick road conditions. So unfortunately, it hasn't been the best morning out there, and I'll show you some traffic cameras coming up here. But this afternoon, 5 degrees for the city of Toronto. Still above seasonal. Not as warm as we have been seeing, and that's because of the easterly wind. We see a wind traveling over Lake Ontario here, and what it's doing is it's cooling down the GTA. So a daytime high of 5 degrees today. Still warm though. We should be at 0 for this time of year, and it's very likely that this December will go down as the warmest December on record in southern Ontario. Now this system here, this is the Colorado low as it continues to make its way further east overnight tonight. Right there, that's when the cold front will pass through. We could see about 1 to 3 millimeters of rain with this. We're really not talking about a lot of rain, but what we could see is the showers linger in through Thursday morning. So 8 degrees, southwesterly winds. That's the switch there, but a few light showers. Now let me take you out onto the roads because big problems this morning on the roads. Yeah, of the 400, and that has now cleared and Highway 89 is completely open. Before I leave you here, I want to show you Thursday afternoon. 8 degrees for the city of Toronto. That's the last mild day. After this, we'll start to cool down. Have a look at that in your locals. Especially today up in places like Dryden and Kenora, northwestern Ontario, about 15 centimeters of snow on tap for them. Snow squalls, also a big story into the weekend. All right, the morning headlines here looking like this. East wind today, so that's going to cool down our temperatures. A wintry weekend with the squalls and rain overnight tonight. So right now, let's take a look at this system here. This is the Colorado low, and this is really what's bringing in quite a bit of snow in through northwestern Ontario. Even places like Thunder Bay, actually some mixing, so not quite cold enough to sustain just snowflakes here. But see here, this is the cold front. We're mild enough in through southern Ontario that we won't have to shovel anything with this snow. And the timing is actually pretty good too. Perfectly timed through the overnight, and we're only talking about minimal amounts of rain here. We could see this linger in through early Thursday morning, so rush hour tomorrow morning. Could be a little wet out on the road, similar to what we saw this morning in some of those slick conditions. Now, one thing that we're talking about into the weekend, changing up the story a little bit here, not another mild weekend, no. Some cooler air is moving into southern Ontario for sure here, and snow squalls are going to set up. We're perfectly seeing that temperature difference, cooler air aloft compared to the warm Great Lakes, the westerly wind here, and look at places like Barrie, even over towards Newmarket, northern areas of the GTA. It's likely early Saturday morning you can see a pretty defined squall in your region. And some places we're talking about 15 centimeters of snow. So this is going to be excellent news for places like Collingwood, of course, Blue Mountain. We had Kevin Yard there about last week talking about the snow and the lack of snow. It's been the warmest December for us. So this is a good news, a good pattern change, but you certainly will have to dress for it because the wind chill is coming into play. And on Saturday, Toronto, a daytime high of 0, but that will feel more like -7. Now your local forecast. And that's making its way to Ontario. Manitoba, especially Winnipeg, could be seeing about 15 centimeters of snow with this. For us, though, too mild. We're going to be getting some rain showers. Overnight, the cold front will pass through, and we'll just see a little sprinkle of rain. That's about it. As we look at this afternoon, 5 degrees for the city of Toronto. Maybe you're thinking, hey, 5 degrees is pretty cool compared to what we've been seeing, but this is still above seasonal. The reason why we're seeing cooler conditions today, that's because the winds have changed. Before, coming out of the southwest, that helps to pump up our temperatures. Today, an easterly wind, and that helps to cool us off. Now, as we look at this here is the Colorado low, and as this approaches our region, it means rain showers overnight tonight. We're not talking about a lot of rain with this, about 1 to 3 millimeters of it, and then that quickly leaves. In behind it for the weekend, snow squalls. Now let's have some fun here. Let's share your weather. Time now for your Long Ranger with Dr. Doug Gillum. And Doug, it's starting to look a little bit like winter in the GTA.
Well, at least the forecast does.
Yeah.
We will have a brief blast of winter that will really impact travel if you're headed north towards ski country or cottage country, since the unsettled pattern next week brings rain, not snow.
Okay, so something you don't have to shovel.
Right.
But this year, let's talk about these snow squalls.
Blustery and colder. The squalls will be setting up during the afternoon and evening well to the north of GTA. As we start out the day on Friday, just some scattered flurries, but as we go through the afternoon, areas that will be impacted will be up around Perry Sound, northern parts of Muskoka. Also, if you're headed south of the border, very difficult travel south of Buffalo. During the evening into the overnight, the bands shift south, and we'll have localized accumulations of 2 to 5 centimeters per hour, 15 to 30 centimeters in a few spots, but that all shuts down by Saturday night.
Okay, and we're not saying cancel plans, but we're
Right.
saying these snow squalls could disrupt travel. So as we look here at Friday, 3 degrees for the city of Toronto. That's going to feel cool, but
Yes.
still slightly above seasonal. Saturday, we're finally seasonal.
Yeah,
0.
this is the coldest day of this cold snap, and there'll be a really brisk wind with this, so wind chills will be well below 0, but look how quickly we turn things around. Back up to 5 degrees, brisk southwest wind on Sunday. We have some rain on Monday, brief break on Tuesday, more rain for Wednesday and into Christmas Eve, and temperatures will be in the double digits on Wednesday, even warmer for Christmas Eve, and that pattern persists through Christmas and really up till New Year's.
All right, Doug, as always, thank you so much for your analysis. It brought some places up to 30 centimeters of snow. So driving in that, yeah, they're certainly putting their winter tires into good use. Us here in the GTA, another mild day. A little cooler, though, with the easterly wind, and that's going to be bringing us down to about 5 degrees today. Still above seasonal. Where we are going to start to look a little bit more like winter is as we head into the weekend, and overnight tonight we're talking about some rain as a Colorado low passes our region. This morning we saw sort of a tricky drive, and that's because there was a lot of mist out through southern Ontario and temperatures close to 0. Those created some pretty slick road conditions. Unfortunately, Highway 89 was closed. There was lots of issues on the 401 as well. Into the afternoon, though, we're up to about 5 degrees, so warmer conditions. Again, another mild December day, but breezy conditions. We could see some wind gusts close to 30 kilometers an hour, and all with that easterly wind, and that helps to cool us down, especially as it travels over Lake Ontario. So as this Colorado low comes in, this is it here, up through northwestern Ontario. This is a big snowmaker. For us, though, we're only dealing with the cold front, and as that continues to pass in through southern Ontario, the timing looks to be good. It's overnight tonight, so it's probably not going to disturb you at all, and only about 1 to 3 millimeters of rain. Something that could interrupt plans, well, that's the snow squalls. We're not saying cancel plans, but be mindful of this here. What we will see into the weekend, Friday and in through Saturday, the westerly wind is going to develop. And as this develops here, travels over the relatively warm Great Lakes, snow squalls are in the forecast. So especially here for cottage country, for ski country, and Saturday morning, we could see a band hit the GTA, especially northern parts like Barrie and Newmarket. Now here's more in your local forecast.